It is a wonderful fall, chilly morning and day at New Beginnings Family Fellowship. Glad that you are with us for Character Sketch this morning. You may remember that last week we focused on thriftiness, but we're going to do that one more week, thriftiness. But this week we're going to focus on a boy with no name. He's just the boy with the loaves and fish. Boy with the loaves and fish. For our purposes, thriftiness is making the most of limited resources. Well, how is the need to make the best use of limited resources illustrated in Scripture? This is the story of two young boys. Although living at quite a bit different times in history, each one saw the miraculous provision of God for his family in response to his faith and obedience. The first boy was the oldest son of a widow during Elisha's day, who was the second boy. The quiet weeping of a mother could be heard by her son. He understood. He too shared in her sorrow. His father had died. They were a close family, and the father was greatly missed by him, his mother, and his little brother. But the loss of the father was now to be deepened by further tragedy. The creditors were coming to take the boy and his younger brother away from their sorrowing mother. They would have to work to pay off the debts which their father had accumulated. With no food in the house except a pot of oil, the grieving mother had nowhere to turn but to the Lord, who began to work in a very unique and marvelous way. God directed the prophet Elisha to tell the mother to get empty pots and pans from her neighbors. Get as many as you can, he said. So the boy and his brother worked with their mother, and soon they had a house full of empty pots. Then they shut the door. The older son began bringing the pots to his mother. She poured her oil into each one according to the instructions of the prophet Elisha. Miraculously, the oil was never used up. It filled every container. The jubilant widow, she sold this oil, paid the creditors, and lived on the rest. The account of this widow and her sons was passed on years later to the second young boy. He also had a mother in need. Their provisions for food were sparse. Rather than having rich wheat, they survived on barley, the grain of the poor. Like the widow's son of earlier years, this boy proposed to help his mother. One day he listened to the excitement of villagers going out into the countryside to hear a wise teacher. That gave him an idea. He went home, got what he needed, and hurried out to join them. That day, the boy listened to the rich and refreshing truths of Christ. The boy's faith was stirred as he heard and understood, and he decided to put the teachings on giving into action and made his way up to the front of the crowd. He told a disciple by the name of Andrew that he wanted to give something to Christ. Andrew agreed to tell Jesus about this offer. A few minutes later, Andrew returned and received from the boy a basket of 5 barley loaves and 2 fish. Christ blessed them, broke them, and then gave them to his disciples to feed over 5,000 people. Not only did Christ satisfy the hungry multitude, but he had his disciples gather up 12 baskets of food that was left over. With these baskets, Christ was able to demonstrate to this boy and his mother the potential of multiplied returns when limited resources are first given to God. Well, thank you for listening in again as we consider this young boy that we never knew his name before. He's just the boy with loaves and fish.